there, time for a new video. Join in where you want to join in. Enjoy the stretches and enjoy some breathing. Maybe some of these things that you see in the video are things that you can just work on, kind of pick and choose items that work for you. Otherwise, join along in the whole class. So I want you to start by finding a comfortable place to sit. We're going to start with a little bit of breathing. So just have your hands where they're comfortable. Relax your shoulders, relax your face, close your eyes. Start coming into a conscious breath. Just noticing your inhales, taking them a little bit deeper. And then the exhales even a little bit deeper. Stay here for a few breaths. Draw the low belly in, let the low belly support the back. Keep yourself nice and long through the spine. And we're going to start bringing in a count to your inhales and your exhales. On your inhales, inhale to a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the top of that, pause for just a moment, holding the breath, then exhale to the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. Take a pause. Exhale to the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 more just like that on your own. Taking a pause after each inhale and each exhale. Coming back to a natural, deeper breath. You can lose the count for now. And then on your next inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Get nice and long through the fingers. Keep the shoulders relaxed. On an exhale, take the right hand down, stretch the left hand over. Keep the left hip anchored down. With your inhale, both arms reach to the sky. With the exhale, left hand down, right hand reaches over. Again, with your inhale, both arms reach to the sky. Exhale, right hand down, left hand over. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, left hand down, right hand reaches over. One more just like that with your breath. Inhaling, both arms reach. Right hand down, left hand stretches over. With your inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, left hand down, right hand reaches over. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, bring the palms together, bring the hands to the heart. Coming onto our hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath of the hips, big toes together, knees wide, child's pose, hips towards heels. Go ahead and bring the hands in, draw the low belly in, and just relax down. hands back by the hips, palms face down. On your next inhale, reach both arms overhead like you're stretching towards the top of the mat. With the exhale, sweep them back by your hips. With your inhale, you're going to press through the shins, reach to the sky. With the exhale, you're going to fold back down to child's pose. With your inhale, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, back by the hips. Inhale, press through the knees, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold back down. We're going to do one more just like that. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, back by the hips. Inhale, press through the knees, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold back down, child's pose. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. Shoulder distance apart with the arms and the hands reach forward. Inhale, come up onto all fours. Shoulders shift slightly in front of the shoulders. You take a half push-up, chaturanga push-up. Press to the top, child's pose, press back. Moving with breath here, inhale, come up. Shift forward slightly, chaturanga push-up. Inhale to the top. Exhale, child's pose. One more like that. Inhale, come up. Shoulders shift slightly forward, lower halfway down. Inhale to the top. Exhale, child's pose. This time, inhale, coming onto all fours. Turn the toes under. Hover the shins above the mat. Press through the hands. Send the hips back towards the heels. Slowly start straightening the legs. Downward facing dog. Bend one knee, straighten the other leg. Change sides. One more breath here. Come back to just your downward facing dog. Take the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot outside of the right hand. Back knee is going to come down. Left hand stays to the floor. Reach the right arm to the sky. Turn the chest to the right. A few nice breaths here. Reach the fingertips up and let the shoulder blade melt towards down the back. One more breath. One more inhale. On the exhale, both hands come down to the floor. Shift the hips back. Pull the toes back towards your shins. Spread the toes as much as possible, as if you're sending your heart forward. And then hugging that right heel and left knee isometrically towards each other. Another breath here. And then shifting forward, we're going to walk that foot forward a little bit, kind of inch it forward. And then bring both hands to the inside. Turn the right toes out to the side a little bit. Maybe roll to the outer edge of that foot. Keep the foot flexed. The chest steers down the center of the mat and just lower down however you can lower down without folding through the waist or dropping the chest. So we're staying nice and long to the torso. I'm just going to lower down. You may walk the hands forward a little bit. Maybe come down to the forearms. Few breaths here. One more breath. And then we'll slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, turn the back toes under, lift the back knee up, step the front foot back for plank pose. 3 breaths here. One more breath. With your inhale, take the left leg to the sky. Step that left foot outside the left hand. Right hand stays down, left arm reaches to the sky, chest spins to the left a little. Reach to the fingertips, spread the fingers. One more breath. And then on your next exhale, both hands either side that foot, drop the back knee down, walk the hands back, hips back, pull the toes back towards the shins, spread the toes, hug the knee and heel towards each other. Nice deep breaths. One more breath here. And then shifting forward, we're going to scoot that foot forward a little bit. It's almost like you're going down into the splits. Hands come to the inside of the foot. Turn the toes out to the left a little bit. Maybe roll to the outer edge of that foot. If you're rolling to the outer edge of the foot, keep the foot flexed. Chest steer down the center of the mat and start lowering down. Stay with your nice deep breaths. Two more breaths here. And then hands underneath the shoulders. Turn the back toes under, lift the back knee, step the left foot back, plank pose, 3 breaths. On your next exhale, downward facing dog. We're just going to walk the feet to the hands to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Collapse everything down, let the head hang nice and heavy. Chin towards chest. On an inhale, halfway position. Now here you can either come to the fingertips, chest lift, shoulders lift, or you can come hands to the shins. Just get nice and long here. With your next exhale, relax down like a rag doll. With your inhale, press the legs, reach your arms to the sky. With the exhale, bring hands to heart. We're going to reach the arms to the sky. Your left hand's going to grab the right wrist as you reach over and stretch to the left. Keep that right foot anchored down and a really nice stretch on the right side. Next, inhale, come up to center and just change sides. Over to the right this time. Left foot stays anchored down. One more breath. Next, inhale, reach up to the sky. Interlace the hands behind the back. Kind of walk the shoulder blades towards each other. Soften the knee, hug the belly in. Fold down, let the hands drop over your head. Keep reaching the hands forward towards the top of the mat. If this doesn't work so good for you, you can grab a strap, a belt, or a scarf to have the hands a little bit wider if your shoulders aren't opened. 2 more breaths here. Release the hands down to the floor. Come into halfway position. Nice deep inhale, get nice and long. Exhale, release it all the way down. With your inhale, reach to the sky, press through the legs. Exhale, hands to heart. With an inhale, reach the arms to the sky. With your exhale, fold forward. Guide yourself down with your core. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Left foot steps back into a runner's lunge. And we're going to come up to crescent pose, high lunge. You can always drop the back knee down to the floor here. Reach the arms to the sky. Another breath here. On your next exhale, both hands to the floor, step back to plank pose. Take one breath in plank pose, and on an exhale, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, left leg goes to the sky. With the exhale, step it through. Come into that runner's lunge, and then lift yourself up, high lunge, crescent pose. One more breath. Next exhale, both hands to the floor, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway position, lift. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, float down. Inhale, halfway position. Left foot steps back again, runner's lunge. Hug your belly in, find your core, lift yourself up, crescent pose. This time, left hand goes to the floor, right hand to the sky. Little lunge twist. Next exhale, right hand comes aside the right foot, left heel spins down, left arm to the sky, open up. Keep hugging the right hip in, keep reaching through the left fingertips. Lengthen to the right waist. On an exhale, both hands to the floor, step back to plank pose. One breath here. And then on your next exhale, downward facing dog. With your inhale, left leg goes to the sky. Exhale, step up to the hand. Runner's lunge, lifting yourself up to crescent pose. This time, right hand down, left hand reaches to the sky. Another breath here. And then left hand comes aside of the left foot, right heel spins down, right arm to the sky, left hip hugs in and back. Next exhale, both hands to the floor, step forward, forward fold. With an inhale, lift and lengthen. With an exhale, let it go. With your inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale, float down. Inhale, halfway position. Left foot steps back. Once again, crescent pose, rise up. Next exhale, left hand down, right hand up. Next exhale, right hand to the inside of the right foot, left heel spins down, left hand to the sky. Unwinding this, coming back to crescent pose. One breath here. Reach the hands forward, hands to the floor, standing split, left leg to the sky. Bending that front knee as much as possible, stepping back to crescent, nice and light, arms to the sky. Exhale, both hands to the floor, step back to plank pose. Next exhale, downward facing dog. With an inhale, left leg goes to the sky. With an exhale, step up to the hand. Crescent pose, rise up. This time on an exhale, right hand down, left hand up. On an exhale, left hand to the inside of the left foot, right heel spins down, right arm to the sky. Keep that knee pointing forward. Unwind this, come back to crescent pose. Halfway down, reach forward, hands to the floor, standing split. Soften that front knee. Touch back as lightly as you can, back to crescent pose. On an exhale, both hands to the floor, step back to plank pose. On an exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg goes to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Come up to warrior two. Coming right into triangle pose, straighten the front leg. Reach out nice and long to the right waist. And just change the hands. Try not to collapse in the chest. One more breath. On an exhale, bend the front knee. Step back to plank pose. Let your core guide you here. On an exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, left leg goes to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Back heel spins down. Knee point straight forward. Come up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Reach out for triangle pose. Couple of breaths. Long through the left waist. Bend the front knee. Back to warrior two. Both hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. This time we're going to take a little chaturanga push-up. So scoot the shoulders forward. You can always drop the knees to the floor. Take that little push-up. Back the head stays lifted. Press to the top. Downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg goes to the sky. On an exhale, step it through. Back heel spins down, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, triangle pose. Keeping the legs straight, we're going to come into straight-legged reverse warrior. So use your oblique muscles, lift yourself up, grab the right hand, stretch it back. Release that hand, reach back out to triangle pose. Take the top hand, reach it behind the back. Maybe you can grab your hip crease. Take the right hand, reach it out in front of you, palm towards the sky. One more breath. Soften the front knee. Both hands to the floor. Hug the belly in. Step back to plank pose. Shoulders shift forward. Chaturanga push-up. Back to downward facing dog. With your inhale, left leg goes to the sky. Step up to the hand. Back heel spins down. Warrior two. Triangle pose. Keeping that leg straight. We're going to lift ourselves up into that reverse warrior. Straight-legged. Right hand grabs the left wrist. Stretch it out. Release that wrist. Stretch it back into triangle pose. Top hand goes behind the back. Maybe grabs the hip crease. Left arm reaches out. Palm face up. Bend the front knee. Release hands to the floor. Step back to plank pose. Chaturanga push-up. Downward facing dog. Inhaling right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Back heel spins down. Same thing, warrior two to triangle. Straight-legged reverse warrior. Grab the wrist, stretch it out. Give yourself a little help here. Release that, nice and long through the waist, back to triangle pose. Top hand goes behind the back. Right arm reaches forward. Front knee softens, half moon pose. Grab a block or something if you'd like to put the hand to. And here's some options. Full half moon pose, you're going to scoot forward. Straighten that top leg, maybe release the bind, take a hand to the sky. You can stay here for a few breaths. Second option is to just come down to the knees, take the right leg behind you, the left hand in front of you. This is a good variation for half moon pose. Otherwise, you can step that left foot to come out of this, or that right foot forward again. Step back. Hands to the floor, step back to plank pose. Your half moon pose, you're just going to float back. Chaturanga push-up, knees can be up or down. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Back heel spins down, come up to warrior two. Right to triangle pose. That straight legged reverse warrior, lift yourself up, clasp the left wrist, stretch it back. Floating back to triangle. Let's take that little bind. Finding half moon pose. Look forward, step forward, float it. Maybe take the hand to the sky. Pause here if you're doing full half moon. Otherwise, you just bring the right knee down, left leg behind, right hand up. Take your option. If you're here, just step that left foot forward again, back knee lifts up. Come back to warrior two. Hands to the floor, step back to plank pose. Shoulders shift forward, chaturanga push-up. Downward facing dog. This round, right leg goes to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Back heel spins down, look forward, warrior one. Coming into humbled warrior, hands interlaced behind the back. Press the fists away, lift the chest, melt forward. Keep the right knee pointing forward. Keep the right hip hugging in. Lower down as much as you can. Relax the head. Another breath here. Release the hands to the floor. Step forward, forward fold. Come into halfway position. And then bend the knees, chair pose, hug the belly in, lift the chest. Press through the legs, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Step back to plank pose. Take that little chaturanga push-up to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Back heel spins down, look forward, rise up, warrior one. Coming into humbled warrior, interlace the hands the other direction behind the back, press the fist away, lift the heart. Keep the left hip hugging in, knee pointing forward, take a bow. Back thigh stays lifted, keep pressing to the outer edge of that back foot. Let the head relax down. Keep the belly hugging in and up. Release the hands. Step forward, forward fold. Halfway position, lift and lengthen. Bend the knees, chair pose, hug the belly in. Heavy in the heels, light into the toes, press through the legs, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway position. Plank pose, step back. Take that chaturanga push-up to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Back heel spins down. Look forward, rise up, warrior one. Interlace the hands, same thing. Humbled warrior. Take that bow. Check in with yourself. Always check where the knees are pointing, the hips. It's time to release the hands so you can bring the right arm inside of the right knee. Take the left arm behind you. Maybe lower down, reach that right arm under that right knee, behind it. So you can clasp your hands. Then lift yourself back up and a little spinning of the chest to the left. Keep reaching long through the right waist. Keep pressing strongly to that back foot. Another breath here. Release the bind. to plank pose, chaturanga push-up, downward facing dog. With your inhale, left leg goes to the sky. Step into the hand. That heel spins down, look forward, rise up. Interlace the other direction. Take your time. Take that bow. Another breath. Release the hands. Left shoulder comes to the inside of the left knee. Slide down. Right arm reaches behind. Lower down. See if you can clasp the hands. Lift yourself up. Spin the chest to the right. Long through the left waist. Keep hugging the right shoulder back here. Another breath. Slide down. Release the hands. Step back to plank pose. Chaturanga push-up. Downward facing dog. We're going to step the feet just slightly forward. Then you're going to take the right leg to the sky. Internally rotate that leg. Press through the right hand a lot. See if you can come to the fingertips of the left hand. Maybe float the left arm up. Bring the hand to the floor. Bring the foot to the floor. Take the left leg to the sky. Press through the left hand a lot. Come to the right fingertips. Maybe start floating that right hand off the floor. Right hand comes to the floor. Foot comes to the floor. Walk back out to plank pose. Knees to the floor. Take a rest in child's pose. Here, let the hands go anywhere that feels comfortable to you. Your shoulders can relax. You want to wiggle your fingers or rotate your wrists. This is a good place to do that. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. And then finding your way back to downward facing dog. We're coming into a little side plank. So walk the feet just an inch or two closer. Come into plank, pivot to the outer edge of the right foot. Take the right hand slightly in front of the shoulder and keep a little arch going on here. So you don't want to be totally flat. You want to keep the hips lifted. And then if you can, stack the feet. If that doesn't work for you, take one foot in front of the other. If that doesn't work for you, take the top foot in front of you. Keep pulling the toes. If your feet are stacked, pull the toes back towards you. Keep the hips lifted. Take that top hand, reach it overhead, get nice and long. Another breath. Come back to center. We're going to change sides. So left hand's going to go slightly in front of the shoulder. You're going to pivot. You're going to take one of those three options again. You can take the top foot step in front of you, one foot in front of the other, feet stacked, hips lift. Top hand goes to the reaches overhead, palm towards the floor. From your core, steer yourself back to plank pose. Take your knees to the floor. Take a rest in child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Two more breaths. Coming back onto all fours, finding plank pose, back to downward facing dog. So we're going to take some little hops here. Now here's your options. First you're going to step your left foot like a foot forward, but it's going to be onto the left side of the mat. And take the right leg to the sky. Option number one is you're going to stay here and just drop the right foot down and lift the leg up. Lower the leg and lift. Lower and lift. Stay here. Otherwise, you're going to come high onto the ball of the left foot.
You're going to bend the left knee, maybe look forward a little bit, but don't shift the shoulders forward, and take some hops. Keep the arms straight. Try not to let the elbows bend, and take some little hops here. Try to make it as light as you can. In between sides. Come down, take a rest in child's pose. Take a couple of breaths. Then coming back onto all fours. Find your downward facing dog. Walk the feet maybe a foot closer. This time left leg's going to go to the sky. You're either going to lower and lift. We're going to come high into the ball of the right foot. Keep the elbows straight. Take some little kicks. Just let the left leg go up. So we're not trying to mule kick here. The right leg is your spring. The left leg will be your lift. In between sides, take a rest in child's pose. Few breaths here. Two more breaths. And then finding your way back to downward facing dog. From down dog, you're either going to walk your feet forward to the outside of your hands, or you're going to take a little hop, both feet to the outside of the hands, into a little squat here. So toes will turn out to the side. Your knees are going to go as wide as what you need. Bring the hands together and let the hips be real heavy here. Draw the low belly in. Keep a little lift into the chest. Couple more breaths. Then we're going to see how low we can get our booty to the floor. So keep hugging the belly in, curl the tailbone down, until you maybe come, it might not be very graceful, onto your seat, maybe come into boat pose. Chest is lifted, options, one foot down, even both feet down, hands behind the hamstrings, hands behind the hips. Still you can have one foot or the other foot. So wherever you want to be, try to find that. We're going to lower down to half boat pose. Again, you can have one knee bent, you know, both feet onto the floor. Hands can be here, hands can be back by you. Reach the toes out if you're a full half boat. Keep the chest lifted. Roll all the way down onto your back, tuck the knees to the chest. Take a nice deep breath. And we're going to do some core work. And we're going to work kind of slow here. So take both legs to the sky. Interlace the hands behind the head. Hug the low belly in. Roll the shoulders off the floor. Try to keep the neck really comfortable here. I like to use my fingertips to kind of support the base of my head. And keep trying to keep the shoulders lifted. At any time you need to put one foot on the floor, that would be the lower foot, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, lower the right leg to wherever is okay for your back. It might be a quarter of the way, it might be halfway, it might be 3/4 of the way. So whatever works for you. And pause here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the shoulders, both legs to the sky. Lift the shoulders, lower the left leg where it's right for you. Keep hugging the belly in. Pause here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the shoulders, both legs to the sky. Roll the shoulders up, lower the right leg. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulders lower, both legs to the sky. Shoulders lift, left leg lowers. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulders down, both legs up, shoulders lift, right leg lowers. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the shoulders, both legs to the sky. Roll the shoulders up, lower the left leg. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulders lower, both legs to the sky. Right leg lowers, left knee bends, right elbow over towards the left knee. Stay here for 5, 4, you don't place the foot on the floor. 3, 2, 1. Center, lower the shoulders, both legs to the sky. Roll the shoulders up, lower the left leg, bend the right knee, twist to the right. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Remember, this is always an option. 1. Come to center. Shoulders lower, both legs to the sky. Roll the shoulders up, lower the right leg, bend the left knee, twist to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center. Lower the shoulders, both legs to the sky. Roll the shoulders up, lower the left leg, bend the right knee, twist to the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center, lower the shoulders, both legs to the sky. Little add-on here. Roll the shoulders up, lower the right leg, bend the left knee, twist to the left, lift the tailbone up slightly. This is not necessarily lift the legs, this is just slight lift of the tailbone. Hold here, come to center, lower the shoulders, legs to the sky. Roll the shoulders up, lower the left leg, bend the right knee, twist to the right, lift the tailbone slightly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center, lower the shoulders, both legs to the sky. One more round. Roll the shoulders up, lower the right leg, bend the right knee, twist to the right, lift the tailbone up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center, lower the shoulders, both legs to the sky. Roll the shoulders, lower the left leg, bend the right knee, twist to the right, lift the tailbone up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center, lower the shoulders, hug both knees into your chest. Take a couple nice deep breaths here. Reach the arms out, reach the legs out. Again, hug knees into chest. Roll yourself forward. We're going to come into pigeon pose. So we're going to start with the right leg in front, left leg behind. So if your right hip is really hovering off the floor, take a blanket or something or a towel and place underneath that hip so your hips can get squared and so the hip's not just hovering off the mat. If it's hovering, you're not going to be able to relax, and we want to try to relax the muscles. The knee should be outside of the hip. I'll turn this way so you can see. So we don't want the foot into the groin and the knee pointing straight forward or inside of the body. We want to try to get the knee outside of the body. The heel can be as close in as what's comfortable to you. The further the heel is and the more parallel with the mat the shin is, the deeper the pose is. So don't go there if you're not ready for it. Have the heel in, but make sure the knee is outside of the hip. Square the chest off so it's forward and the hips are forward. If you have to have the hands out, then have the hands out to stay up. If you can start lowering down, go ahead and lower down. But again, when we do, we're not collapsing through the belly. You can let the head relax down. We're going to try to stay nice and long to the torso. And keeping that right hip kind of hugging in a little bit. And then you just breathe into this. Be here a few more breaths. Couple more breaths. Go ahead, hands, press ourselves back up. We're going to take that back leg, we're going to swing it around. If you can cross that leg over the knee and let the left hip come to the floor, do that. If that's not going to work, then extend the bottom leg, extend the right leg out. Then we're going to twist over that left knee. So whether the right leg is straight out in front of you or the right leg is bent underneath of you, we're twisting to the left. Try to stay nice and long, shoulders right above the hips, hug the low belly in, hug the left shoulder blade back. Take some nice deep breaths here. Two more breaths. Very nice and easily unwind this. Now you're going to take a right leg, you're going to swing that right leg behind you, coming into pigeon on the other side. So adjust yourself. Take time to get yourself set up. Make sure the knee is outside of the body, not pointing into the inside. Try to square the hips off. Try to square the chest off. Start lowering down if you can. And even if you start a little higher, just try to relax and have a nice deep breath and let the breath relax you. And maybe as you start relaxing, you can start lowering down a little bit more. This is a good place to just kind of check in with yourself. Just notice what you feel. Maybe where you feel it. And maybe even start getting into noticing your alignment a little bit. Notice if the weight is rolling all the way to that left hip. Try to center that back up. If your belly is, your core is taking a little vacation, try to hug the low belly in. Try to engage the low belly a little bit without straining yourself too much. Notice if your jaw is tight, or your eyes are pinched closed. Just relax everything. Couple more breaths here. Walking the hands back, we'll take that back leg, we're going to swing it around in front, cross it over. Try to get the right hip to the floor, so you may shift the weight a little bit to the right. Now if there's a problem with the knee or you just can't get the hip down, that's where you extend the left leg this time. And this time we're going to twist over the right knee. Right shoulder blade kind of hugs back onto the back. We try to stay nice and long. You can anchor the elbow if you want to the leg. If you can't get upright and have to fold, walk that hand back away from you a little bit, wherever it takes to get length. Another breath here. Then nice and easily unwind this. Extend both legs out in front of you, coming into a forward fold. You can get the hips, shoulders over the hips here, nice and long, hinging forward at the hips. If the hands can't go to the feet or can only go to the shins, that's okay. As long as you stay nice and long into the torso, If you have that strap or belt or scarf, hook the feet, get nice and tall, and just use your arms to gently pull you forward however low you can go. If you're fine at grabbing your feet, grab your feet. Start lowering down. Hug the low belly in. Press the sitting bones back a little bit and reach the heart forward. Here you can let the neck relax. We're still not rounding to the upper back. We're still staying nice and long. About 3 more breaths here. And lifting yourself up, hug the belly in, walk yourself back, slide the feet in, or roll all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees into the chest. Place both feet onto the floor. Cross the right leg over the left. Take your hips 1 to 2 inches to the right. Open the arms up, palms face up. Let both knees drop to the left as you gently look to the right. Take some nice deep breaths here and think about lengthening through the right waist. On your next inhale, come back to center. Uncross the legs. Come back to the middle of the mat. Both feet onto the floor. Left leg crosses over the right. Lift the hips up. Take about 1 to 2 inches to the left. Both knees drop to the right as you gently look to the left. Keep the breath deep. Lengthen through the left waist now. Another breath here. On your next inhale, come back to center, uncross the legs, get down the middle of the mat again, hug the knees into the chest. We're going to come into final relaxation. So I want you to extend your legs out. Let the arms rest alongside of you. Let the feet just relax out. Maybe gently walk the shoulder blades towards each other. Close the eyes. Let the muscles be heavy. And start really lightening and relaxing the breath. Try to let the mind be very quiet and still. Stay here for as long as you can. When you are ready to get up, just gently start bringing some gentle movement back into the body. Start deepening your breath when you're ready. And you're ready to come back up on your time. Just roll to your right side for a breath or two and just gently press your way back to seated. And maybe sit into a seated position with your eyes closed for a couple more breaths. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this class, and